If Stu Macher is alive in Scream 7, why didn't any of the characters talk about him being alive between Scream 2 and Scream 6? Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I have been asked this question time and time again about if Stu is alive, why is nobody talking about him? Now, in this video, we'll only be talking about it as if Stu is definitely alive and not returning in some sort of flashback or dreamlike sequence. This is if he's alive and living.
Surprise, Sydney.
As this is classed as a retcon, this wouldn't have been foreshadowed in any of the previous Scream movies. They have to work this in as best as they can. And since the scrapping of Stu's return from Scream 3 onwards, they'll have to force this retcon without trying to make it look entirely forced. They just need to be as subtle as possible with their reasonings, but what could those reasonings be? Let's start with the obvious one. He's behind bars. Between Scream 2 and Scream 6, Stu Macher is going nowhere if he's behind bars, so they've no reason to suspect him as being one of the killers between Scream 2 and Scream 6. And after the reveal of one of the killers being Mrs. Loomis in Scream 2, this further cements the reason behind Stu not being part of the killers, because we now know that the Loomis family is the main culprits. And it further cements that Stu is one of the pawns for Billy in Scream 1. Fast forward to Scream 6, Stu is dead on the board in Wayne's office in the police station, but Wayne himself eventually becomes the killer. So we're looking at a board of killers created by a killer. Kirby was FBI. She's higher up than Wayne as a police officer. She's probably on more of the need-to-know basis and knows more about the information of the previous killers, maybe more than she lets on. So it's possible that she still knew he was alive and didn't tell Wayne. She also has a conversation with Mindy, almost like she's trying to convince Mindy that Stu's dead, when in actual fact she knows he's still alive.
TV that killed Stu Macher.
If you believe he's dead.
After all, she specialises in dealing with the Ghostface killings. So if everyone thought he was dead but Kirby knew he was alive, why keep that information a secret? Change of identity perhaps. In the real world, underage killers are given new names, new identities, new locations, new everything, to be honest. So it's not uncommon for it to happen in the movie world. Being around the age of 17, Stu would most likely be tried as a minor. Scream 5 even hints at the possibility of Stu's death being a conspiracy. Everyone's asking the question, is Stu Macher still alive? Now, I know that everybody in real life, the fans of the Scream franchise, ask the same question, and that little Easter egg is probably in there as a tribute to the fans of the franchise, but because it was put in there, then that's something they can work with and showing that Stu is in fact still alive. There is never going to be a perfect way to bring Stu Macher back, if indeed he is coming back as a living person. There is always going to be someone out there that's got something wrong with it. They've got a problem with how that works. And that's a shame, because in today's world, that's what we're getting. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up watching horror movies from the 80s, and we just accepted people coming back from the dead all the time. We have to remember that the Scream franchise is a horror movie franchise at the end of the day. Yes, of course, we want some sort of realism to it, but we have to remember it's not a true crime documentary. Now, what are your thoughts on that, guys? Now, remember, this video is looking at it from the point of view that Stu is definitely 100% alive. So let's discuss it as if he's 100% alive.
Houston, we have a problem here.
Is there anything in this video that I spoke about that you think couldn't happen? Not just in the real world, but in the movie world? Anything else that you want to discuss? Leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played in the cat?
Someone's in the back seat!